Good evening. Tonight's live at 5 is important. I come to you wearing a Concert for Charlottesville t-shirt because this is the concert that we threw to try to unite Charlottesville after others tried to tear it down. And tonight's video is about how we can bridge divides and why we should do it. This is a big day. If you're not aware, in the United States, we're having an election today. It's called the midterms, and it's become a point of contention in a lot of people's lives and relationships, basically politics entering our homes, our families, our friendships, and our workplaces. And my pitch tonight is we have got to come together. And this is why. First of all, if you are listening and you haven't voted yet, go vote. Every voice needs to be heard. Bottom line, this is what America was established on. This is why we're here, is the freedom to be heard, is the freedom to cast a vote, is the freedom from tyranny so that we can have a voice and how our country moves forward. It's so precious, and I don't want anyone to waste it. It's the most American thing we can do, I think, is to vote. And so the thing that will happen if we do this right is that then the people who are elected have to come together to work to make this a better country. And we've been failing on that. I'm going to give us an F, but I believe in the hope that that can be turned around. And I know you do too, because this is what I know for sure. We don't have time, guys. We think we do. We all think that we've got tons of time. And the bottom line is, whether it's your mother, your daughter, your coworker, or your friend, I want you to value your conversations and your dialogues with them about every issue, no matter how difficult for you or them, in a way that you would hope, if it was your last conversation, that you would be proud of that conversation, that they would know that you care about them, that you love them, that you see them, and that while you might disagree with them, you respect them and you understand that is the privilege of being an American. I have had more than one occasion in my lifetime where I have said goodbye to someone having no idea that I would never see them again or speak to them again. I wish so dearly that I had known, but none of us know. So let's stop acting like we have time and let's start acting like adults who respect each other, who have difficult conversations, and who walk with each other through those conversations with respect. Because here's the truth: we can let divides be divides, we can let differences be differences. It's okay. That's the whole point of being human, is that others aren't like us and we can learn from them and we can be with them and we can have friendships and have fun, and who knows, maybe even change our own minds over the course of a lifetime, right? Who among you has not changed your ideas on something? It doesn't have to be politics, it can be anything. But at the end of the day, let differences be differences. We have to stop vilifying people and demonizing people for the things that they believe and think. That way, there lies dragons, guys. That's the truth. If that's what your lifestyle has become, hating other people, rebelling against other people in the sense that you can't even listen to them, you have been co opted by the narrative that's just not true. The narrative that isn't true is that we all are this far apart. And in fact, we're all this far apart. If you're really looking at statistics and you're really looking at the information that's available to us from non-prejudiced sources, and we all know there's a lot of prejudiced sources around, it shows that most Americans believe pretty much similar things, but the media, social media, our own selves conflate it into being some horrible, horrible extreme when nobody really stands on those extremes. Now, for people who do stand on extremes, that's obviously not welcome, but we can stand up against that in a very respectful, articulate, consistent, calm way. Calm is a superpower, right? The minute you start screaming and yelling and calling names, you've lost your power. If you believe something and you really want to move that concept forward, you think it's really important, then get behind that. Volunteer, educate yourself, communicate to others, create a campaign, whatever you want to do. but don't call people names. Don't attack people physically, especially. It's really important that we get back to some level of comprehensive respect for one another and civility. A friend of mine in Charlottesville actually runs a school for civility. And do you know what she teaches people? I see you, Robin. I love you. You're an amazing part of our community. I'm so grateful for you. She teaches children civility, manners. And I'm not just talking about table manners, right? Eat from the outside in, don't spit something out on your plate, all these things, right? But she teaches them how to conduct themselves. And I think we all need a class in civility, every one of us, right? How to be respectful, how to be calm, and how to communicate. Don't let the media wind you up, and believe that there are people out there who are very few people out there are totally horrible. I'm sure there are some Hitlers on the planet right now, right? But the majority of us are good people who love our families, who want to work for a living wage, who want everyone to receive reasonable health care, who want people to be able to live free, right? I don't think we disagree about most of the most important issues, but it's been made to look that way. And we've also been encouraged to misbehave. When we misbehave, we get attention. I'm putting America in a timeout. I'm putting all of us in a timeout. It's time for us to take a minute and think about this and realize what we have is the most precious gift. Democracy is the most precious gift, and we have to protect it at all costs. That means voting, and that means respectful dialogue. And if you need to give yourself a timeout in the middle of a conversation that gets a little bit heated, then call that out and say, you know what? I'm not being my best self right now. I just need a minute to be thinking about this and calm down about this because I love you and I respect you and I know you're a good person. And it's okay that we believe different things, but I'd like to continue this conversation when I'm in a better place because I'm embarrassed by my behavior right now. It's okay to just time out. So there are a couple of people that can help guide us through this conversation or these conversations and these larger issues. So I want to recommend them to you. First is SharonSaysSo. She is a retired history teacher, and she can explain to us, how does America work? How does the Constitution work? What do the states do? What does the federal government do? Can states secede? P.S. They can't. I know. I'm so sorry, Texas. But she can kind of teach us the actual history and the actual rules. And her only rule for governors, and I'm a proud governor, that's exactly what you think it is. You're a government person who's a big fat nerd who's trying to learn about all this stuff, is that we speak to each other with respect and that we have open dialogues and work on these topics and issues. There's a huge group that follows her. I think it's over 1 million now. Congratulations, Sharon. I've been so privileged to be a part of your semesters where we get to meet authors and study together. And I recommend you do that too. Follow Sharon Says So. Join her extra groups where we get to teach together, learn together, and grow together, and help educate yourself. If you feel frustrated, like, why isn't the president making gas prices better? That's a great group to join because it'll explain how gas prices become gas prices and who can actually make a difference there. The second person I want you to follow, his handle on Instagram is LosWhit, LOSWHIT. And Los is one of those people with the Insta Familia. Shout out Insta Familia. I'm a proud owner of an Insta Familia t-shirt that walks with people instead of standing on issues. And that, my friend, is exactly what we need to do. He's a man of faith. He is an incredible human being, and he navigates difficult conversations within the community that is wildly different. We are a very different community in the Insta Familia to be able to come to really helpful discussions and learn from each other, which is what we need to be doing. Remember, statistics tell us we agree on a lot more than we disagree with. So join me. Take a time out if you need to. Vote for sure, but let's start tomorrow on a new page. Let's start tomorrow by being brave and being kind. Have a great night, you guys. I love you all. I'll be back here tomorrow, live around 5, and I hope you have a safe and amazing evening. Take care.